Do you know about the Michelin Man?
It is a book.
It is the book, Jana. The Bible.
Michelin sends its inspectors to restaurants to eat and award stars. 1, 2, 3.
Or none.
No one knows who they are. No one. They have to stick to a routine to give every restaurant the same chance.
Everything from now on must be perfect. Not good, not excellent. Perfect.
You've been lied to. Michelin stars, the supposed peak of global dining, aren't earned, they're bought. Traded in backroom deals between governments and corporate strategists. What you thought was a culinary honor is a luxury branding scheme. The food? Just the set dressing. They claim it's about excellence, but the truth is far more cynical. Money, image, and control. So pull back the white tablecloth. We're exposing the Michelin machine and what it really takes to get a star. Are you tired of the Michelin myth? Join our community and support independent storytelling that pulls back the curtain on the fine dining industry. Every membership helps us dig deeper and create the kind of investigative videos Michelin would rather you never see. So click the join button and be part of the resistance. The Michelin Guide wasn't born in a restaurant. It was born in a garage. In 1900, the Michelin brothers, Edouard and André, needed to sell tires in a country with fewer than 3,000 cars. So they printed a travel booklet, free of charge, that listed gas stations, hotels and restaurants. It wasn't about taste, it was about tread. They needed people to drive more and wear down those tires. By the 1920s, Michelin added stars to make driving destinations more desirable. And thus, the illusion began. To this day, Michelin is a for-profit subsidiary of the Michelin Tire Company. It is not a neutral arbiter. It's a luxury branding tool. Former director Jean-Luc Naret once said, "We sell dreams, not food reviews." Translation, they're selling you an image and charging chefs a lifetime to chase it. You've probably been told that Michelin stars follow excellence, but what if they really follow invoices? Because Michelin doesn't hand out stars for flavor, it hands them out for funding. In Singapore, the tourism board funneled millions into the deal, rolled up in co-branded campaigns and lavish media events. Michelin has never confirmed the exact figure. As Lionel Yeo, then CEO of the Singapore Tourism Board, said, "This supports our positioning as a culinary capital." When Dubai got its guide in 2022, the headlines were glowing. The launch was lavish. The stars were handed out quickly. Chef Raif Othman told The National it was about optics. The launch was theatre, but Dubai didn't earn stars. It bought an image. Meetings were held. PR strategies were coordinated. Stars were essentially baked into the branding plan from the start. In California, Michelin pulled out in 2009, citing low interest. But once Visit California, a publicly funded non-profit that promotes tourism in the state, stepped in with money, the guide magically returned. Stars were suddenly flowing again. Caroline Bateta, CEO of Visit California, stated, "It enhances our global brand as a premier food and wine destination." Texas made it even more obvious. In 2024, cities like Austin, Houston, and San Antonio paid $2.7 million to bring the guide. It wasn't a culinary decision, it was a packaged rollout. And Europe, just as rigged. In Hungary, a government-backed deal gave Budapest its first Michelin spotlight. According to the Hungarian tourism agency, the initiative was a milestone for elevating Hungary's gastronomic reputation. In Spain, Valencia's regional government helped fund Michelin's expansion during its tourism rebranding campaign. Reports from Spanish media confirmed direct financial backing tied to their World Capital of Gastronomy push. Italy's regional boards have routinely sponsored Michelin events to keep their towns in the book.
Now, to the general public, the Michelin Guide had been serving as an indicator of high-quality food, and obtaining a Michelin star could be seen as a huge factor in determining the success of a restaurant. But KBS has found that some consulting agencies received illegal money for helping restaurants obtain Michelin stars.
저런 것들이 있었구나라는 걸 알게 되는 거잖아요. 미슐랭 3스타를 받으려면, 미슐랭을 받으려면 이런 것들을 진행해야 된다.
If there's a single case that exposes just how transactional the Michelin system is, it's Seoul. In 2016, Michelin launched its guide in South Korea for the first time. The Seoul metropolitan government paid 2 billion won, about $1.8 million to secure the guide. The contract was never announced to the public. It took multiple information requests and months of pressure from the Korea Times and other journalists to expose the truth. According to the investigation, the deal included financial backing, promotional events, and the expectation that Seoul's high-end restaurants would be placed on the global map. In other words, this wasn't a culinary honor, it was a transaction. The public was never informed, the Korea Times wrote. Taxpayer money was funneled into a private company with no transparency, no accountability, and no measurable return. Government spokespeople called it part of a city branding project. But local chefs and critics weren't fooled. The resulting guide overlooked Korea's most beloved food institutions. No bustling markets, no generational kitchens serving working-class meals. Instead, stars landed on luxury tasting menus that barely scratched the surface of Korean culture. This wasn't about Korean cuisine, one Seoul-based food journalist told the Hankyoreh. It was about staging Korea for a Western audience. Public backlash was swift. Media outlets accused both the city and Michelin of cultural misrepresentation. Even former tourism officials admitted the deal was engineered more for headlines than for heritage. Michelin stayed silent. It always does. The Seoul scandal wasn't an outlier. It was a blueprint.
The Michelin Guide is available for 28 cities and countries around the world, but having now come to Korea for the first time, the local culinary community had been excited about the prospect of having Korean cuisine recognized on an international platform. But there has been some criticism that many of the choices come at too high a price point and are not representative of local tastes.
Ever wonder why Michelin covers Tokyo, but Africa is still missing? Why cities with rich culinary history somehow don't qualify? It's not about food quality, it's about marketability. When Tokyo received its guide, it wasn't just for sushi or kaiseki. It was because Japan's national government backed Michelin's expansion with logistical support and financial incentives. In Brazil, the city of Rio de Janeiro received a guide in 2015 thanks to government-backed tourism campaigns ahead of the Olympics. The guide coincided perfectly with Brazil's effort to reposition its global image. If your city suddenly became a Michelin destination, ask yourself, was it because of flavor or funding? Comment below if your city got a guide recently. Did it celebrate your culture or sell it back to you in white linen?
From the soil to the table, those are the journeys at the root of the Michelin Guide. Because a journey matters. Experience the extraordinary.
Michelin claims to be global, but it judges the world with a French ruler. Its idea of fine dining still means small plates, muted flavors, and tweezers. Sanjeev Kapoor, India's best-known chef, said it clearly, "Our food is about soul and spice, not porcelain and silence." But Michelin doesn't reward authenticity. It rewards imitation of European aesthetics. In India, family-run restaurants were ignored while Euro-inspired fine dining got praised. Chef Gagan Anand summed it up. "If I serve food on banana leaves, I'm rustic. If I use tweezers, I'm a genius." Take Mexico. When the Michelin Guide launched there in 2024, it wasn't the result of some spontaneous celebration of culinary diversity. 18 restaurants were awarded stars, many of them aligning closely with the Eurocentric, fine dining aesthetic Michelin prefers. Meanwhile, the street vendors and traditional family-run kitchens that define the soul of Mexican cuisine remained largely ignored. Before we continue, here's something that's the exact opposite of overpriced illusion. Let's be honest, chemical-loaded skincare is the Michelin-tasting menu of the beauty world. Expensive, overhyped, and secretly wrecking your skin. Most mainstream products are packed with synthetic fragrance, hormone-disrupting parabens, and petroleum-based fillers. It's like putting junk food on your face. That's why I use Evil Goods Whipped Tallow Honey Balm. It's primal skincare. Your skin recognizes it, uses it, heals with it. It feels like your skin is finally breathing again. With 350,000 plus people switching, this isn't a trend, it's a quiet rebellion. You can get 30% off today by subscribing at the first link below or going to evilgoods.com/forking. Now, let's talk about street food and how Michelin uses it for headlines, not justice.
You receiving a Michelin star as a hawker will raise the profile and hopefully inspire a lot of new generation of young sort of chefs and hawkers.
所以自从米其林来到这个新加坡，我们成为hawker 里面都可以成为一星之后，我有听说过以后会有很多年轻人愿意加入的。
In 2016, Singapore's Chan Hon Meng made headlines when his $2 hawker stall serving soy sauce chicken rice and noodle got a Michelin star. It was hailed as proof that street food could finally earn global respect. But let's be clear, he didn't earn a star. Singapore's tourism board paid to bring Michelin in, and his stall made for the perfect photo op. The guide used him, then moved on. Most street vendors remain invisible to Michelin, and when the guide does show up, it favours upscale versions of street food, not the real thing. Take Bangkok, one of the most vibrant street food cities on earth. But when Thailand paid to bring Michelin in, the stars went to luxury hotels and sanitized tasting menus, not to the chaotic, flavorful food carts that locals and travelers line up for every night. The same pad thai that costs $2 from a cart is ignored. But if you wrap it in gold leaf and plate it in a fancy resort, it becomes star-worthy. Real street vendors got none of the attention. Why? Because they don't fit the luxury narrative Michelin needs to justify its pay-to-play presence. As journalist Lisa Abend put it, the guide has become a subsidized instrument of national gastronomic branding. For chefs, chasing stars means chasing ghosts. Michelin creates pressure so brutal that even success feels like failure. Chef Mikael Jonsson of Hedone said, "Michelin is a game that destroys lives. I've seen brilliant people burn out. Restaurants go into debt. Staff are overworked. Mental health crumbles. If Michelin stars really represented the best restaurants in the world, then why are so many of the best left out? Places like Chez l'Ami Jean in Paris, Frankie's Tacos in Los Angeles, or Swan Oyster Depot in San Francisco, legendary spots known for unforgettable food and long lines, have never received a star. Why? Because they don't play the game. They don't court inspectors. They don't fit the tasting menu mold, and they don't pay into Michelin's branding system. One chef from a world-renowned starless bistro in Lyon said it best, "I'd rather serve my neighbours than chase a French marketing campaign disguised as prestige." These restaurants didn't fail to earn stars. They refused to buy into them. And the worst part, stars can disappear without warning. Even Jiro Ono, yes, that Jiro, lost his stars not for food, but because he was too exclusive. By now, it's not just critics saying it. Major publications and investigative journalists have started calling Michelin what it really is, a pay-to-play operation with global influence. A 2023 piece from the New Republic called Michelin's expansion a scam wrapped in silverware, and accused the guide of trading credibility for tourism dollars. The Los Angeles Times even reported that Michelin's return to California wasn't about food quality. It was the result of a multi-year financial commitment. Eater described the Michelin model as soft cultural colonialism, saying the guide pushes Eurocentric values while erasing local dining customs under the guise of refinement. In Switzerland, Neue Zürcher Zeitung questioned the fairness of star distribution, pointing out that Michelin partners closely with regional tourism boards, who conveniently see their preferred cities featured year after year. For the fine dining world, the pattern is too consistent to ignore. So who wins this game? Not chefs, not even diners. Who are the real winners? Of course, the often mentioned tourism boards, but also hotel developers. And of course, Michelin's own brand equity. City after city, It's clear the Michelin expansion was driven by contracts. Just follow the money and you'll always find the star. But remember, you don't have to buy the illusion. And next time someone brags about a Michelin star, ask them who paid for it. Until next time, keep questioning the hype and your appetite. Subscribe, like, and join our community.